All right, we're switching things up and heading onto the netball court. Jamaica's Sunshine Girls are currently on their way back to Kingston with much work to do after falling 1-0 behind England in the 4-test Horizon Series. The first 2 tests were played in Manchester, England at the weekend, with the Sunshine Girls outscoring the host 15-12 and 14-11 in the second half to fight back for a 49-49 draw in Saturday's first test. The momentum followed the Jamaicans into the first half of the second test a day later, but they quickly dwindled in the second half, being outscored 31-23 as England took a series lead, winning 55-47. Sunshine Girls coach Sasha Gay Henry was disappointed with the performance.
It's a part of the game in terms of getting our ball through and getting it really on top of circle edge. So I think the movement is a little bit stagnant. So it's something that we have to look at and try to correct that quickly going into game 3. I mean, the home court is always good for us. It's going to be still a tough contest because I'm telling you, England really came out and they did an excellent job. So for us, we just have to enjoy the atmosphere in our home crowd. We're used to the surface, but we have to go and we have to compete and play strong same way.
All right, Rose's coach Jess Thirlby had this to say.
That rotating circle is something that we've been looking forward to testing, and we weren't sure if it was going to do what we needed it to, but it's been so exciting in training. So I think not only Helen matching up against Sterling, but also Lois Pearson again, sliding across 2 positions as though she's been in this red dress for a long time. They're still finding a way to get through us, we expect that. But I think today we found a bit more grit when we went up, we led a lot of the game yesterday, so we took real confidence from that. I think we need to just be better in those moments where we do go 4, 5 and 6 up. We let them back in, such is the quality of that side. So we're in for an exciting week away in Jamaica.
All right, joining us this afternoon to review the series thus far is Jamaica Suns captain and Elite League coach Kurt Dale. Good afternoon, Kurt. How are you doing?
Hi, Mara. I'm here. Thanks for having me.
All right, not a problem. Happy to have you on. So let's start by talking about the first match from the Sunshine Girls, where I had the opportunity to really watch and study closely, and there was a lot of fight. I mean, there were errors and there were mistakes, but Kurt, the fight that we saw that led the Sunshine Girls to draw that match was incredible.
Definitely nothing short of incredible. The girls really rallied back in that moment. I mean, I think everyone in the last 30 seconds of that game thought the Sunshine Girls would have lost that match, but a brilliant intercept by Shamira Sterling Humphrey in the dying seconds of that game managed to secure possession for the Jamaican team, and they went to score that, followed by their centre passes to level that game.
Yeah, who would you say are some of the players that really stood out from the first match? Because I want to get to the second one as well. But Kurt, the players that really stood out and, helped the Sunshine Girls to push themselves to draw that first one.
Well, defensively, I thought the Jamaicans were very strong. And it's hard. And you heard Shamira speak about it in the interview. They haven't played together for 15 months. And while they are playing in elite competition, Shamira and Latanya would play together at Thunderbirds along with Romelda, but Jodian is in a different team, and they play different styles at their club level. So when they come together, it takes a bit of work to get them to gel. And as Shamira said, well, all 3 of them have uni going on, so they are unable to commit to training on a full-time schedule. So they only train like once or twice a week. So it's extremely difficult, but they show their caliber because in that first game, they had 26 turnovers between them. Yeah. They won the ball back for Jamaica 26 times. Sorry, they had 25 gains. But we turned over the ball 26 times, and that's why we were just able to tie that game. But 25 gains is no easy feat. That's really incredible. Not some of the best teams in the world are not turning over the ball 25 times. So the defensive end really stood out. Not individually. I think individually we would want to see some more specky intercepts from them like we're used to in Suncorp. But as a unit that hasn't been training together a lot, they really stood up together and they made it difficult for the England attack.
Yeah, interesting that you speak about when you say not individually, Kurt, because I thought, especially in that first game, Latanya Wilson was magnificent, in my opinion. And in fact, she was named player of the match.
Yes, definitely, she was incredible. And I think the decision by Adelaide Thunderbird to play her out at wing defense has paid dividends, and we are reaping the rewards here in Jamaica because she's usually a circle player here in Jamaica. But I think the combination with her out at wing defense and Jodian at the goal defense really complements our defensive unit.
Yeah, Kurt, let's be honest. When you think about the 2019 World Cup team and how poor we were, finishing fifth that time around, and the improvements that the centre third has made over the years, you have to say that they have been very good. But still, it continues to be a problem, and it was again because the English Roses kept stifling the Jamaicans in the center of the court. And we heard Coach Thirlby speak about it, that the Jamaicans tried to find ways to play through them, but it was difficult. And I thought on Sunday in that second game, that's probably what cost us the game. I want your assessment of the performance from the center court, but also in addition to that, whether we miss someone like a Nadine Thomas who wasn't there.
All right, so for a number of years, we have had some strong center players like Paula Thompson, and in recent time, Nicole Dixon Rochester, who were really the anchor of that midcourt. So when we look at the midcourt now, we're seeing the centers are really young players, and the center role is very crucial because the center is a player who connects both the defensive and the attacking end. So we're missing that link, but I'm not going to grade them too harsh because we would have seen the Roses play against Australia, who is #1 in the world, and they would have had some struggle against the same English midcourt defense. New Zealand had some struggle even though against it as well. So I'm not going to grade our girls too hard. I think it's a learning curve for them. Both Crystal Plummer and Abigail Sutherland, they're learning, and I thought that in patches they improved a lot. And with Jamaica, because we play the standing shooter, it's a bit difficult because now it's almost like you're playing 3 against 4 because the standing shooter is just being there, and but the defensive end can float off and come back to the standing shooter. So it's really just assessing and working out the different spacing and commanding space and working off each other. And I think we haven't figured that out completely as yet. But I think they're making good progress. I liked what I saw in patches, but there's some work to do.
Yeah, take nothing away from Romilda Aiken. I don't think she was brilliant in the first game, but she was very good. I thought she was much better in game number 2. But how much did this team miss Janelle Fowler?
Well, Janelle Fowler, she's the best goal shooter in the world, and she has been for a number of years, and she is for a reason. So they are definitely missing her, and not only her on-court skills, because and I mean there are a number of times that we're probably thinking, oh, if that was a Janelle, should have caught that, or if that was a Janelle, she would have just turned and shot that one. But her leadership as well, I think, is something that's missing. But take nothing away from Romelda. I think Romelda coming in cold because she was called in last minute for this series. Not sure what work she was doing leading up to this, but she has really stepped in and she has really been holding her own. I think some of the feeds going into Romelda is something that we have to look at. But again, Romelda has been in and out of the program for a few years now, and these young players wouldn't have been exposed to Romelda. And how you feel a Romelda versus how you feel Janelle is completely different. So I think it will take time for them to adjust. Hopefully we can see that a turnaround there in game 3. Yeah,
do you feel as if this team can turn it around in Kingston? The teams expected to arrive in Kingston tonight, Monday night. The remaining 2 matches on the 25th and the 26th at the National Indoor Sports Centre. Can the Sunshine Girls turn it around in your opinion?
Yeah, man, definitely. As I said, we had 25 games in game one. We had 23 games in game 2. So we just need to find ways to score more. We just need to find ways to convert in the games, because obviously we have a strong enough defensive unit who can combat the attacking work of the England Roses. But how can we penetrate more and get more shot attempts? Romelda is a girl who can do the job. She's tall, she's strong, and she is a commanding presence. How can we feed her? So I think during this week, that's something Sasha Gay and her coaching staff, which I am a part of, I think we will have to look into how we can perfect those feeds into Romelda and probably do some work on Romelda's position in the circle as well to ensure that they can have clear vision into the space she wants the ball.
Yeah, Kurt, I think you just gave us a little bit of a breaking news there, but we'll leave that for now. It's a pleasure speaking with you as usual, and I'm sure we'll be chatting more. Mariah, I understand, will be making a special appearance at the games next week as well, so everybody should look out for that. All right,
Looking
take
forward
care,
to
Kurt.
seeing you, Maria.
Yeah,
Right,
you too, Kurt. Take care.
Bye.
Ramarat,
Yeah.
will you be shooting
When did
or
I
playing wing
Let
defense?
me ask you something live. When did I tell you from the one day that you came to work that I am making an appearance?
I never said you told me.
So you just assume.
No,
You need to
it
ask
could be
me.
somebody else who told
But as
me.
a top journalist, like you would want to be, you should come to me and ask me a question.
But maybe I have evidence.
But you have no evidence. The match didn't happen yet.
I guess viewers, he's a little rusty. Let's
No,
give him a
evidence that you are
Break
going
time.
to be there.
Break time, please. It's evidence.